Testing, testing. One, two, three. Is the mic spitting back? Is my audio okay? Because it's so cold. It's so cold. Okay, so winter sucks. Winter is kind of horrible. Snow is really pretty, but being cold and it being dark all the time is really hard to deal with. I thought it'd be funny if I made a serious, kind of not serious video about how I am going to get through my seasonal depression and how I'm going to survive winter. My notes are in this handy dandy little notebook that I will also talk about. The first thing that I've been doing to try and get through this horrible winter is number one, to stay warm. You can see that I'm already doing that with this scarf on my head, a nice wool scarf, and this flannel hoodie that I just got for Christmas. So I am trying to stay warm. And that leads me into my second point is nourishing myself. I am trying to eat as healthy as I can. I just made curry tonight. It was not super hard. It was not extremely taxing. I have been relying on meals that are easier to prepare to not overwhelm myself so I don't feel extremely exhausted from cooking, because that's kind of just where I'm at right now. I'm really exhausted by everything. On top of being nourished, I am drinking more water, and specifically right now, this is warm water. This is hot and warm water. I would show you the steam coming out of this thing, but I'm not going to do that because I'm kind of on my bed right now and I don't want to spill water. So those are very physical needs that I'm trying to meet to help myself get through winter. I'm going to talk about more emotional needs and more emotional regulatory things that I have been doing. The third thing that I'm going to talk about is hibernating if you need to. Winter is a very deeply emotional season for me personally. Because of those emotions that I'm experiencing, I also want to lay in bed all day and feel those things and not have to go out into the world and let those things express themselves when I really, really need to keep them not inside of me, but I want to sort them out by myself first before I bring those emotions out into the world. So, yeah, hibernate if you need to. Talked about physical needs, talked about hibernating, resting if you need to. Number four is to enjoy the things that you are doing. And I'm mostly talking about this in terms of hobbies. I think right now in the world and just people in general, we have a hunger to be super productive and to keep doing things and always be doing things, and we're not really just doing our hobbies or just doing things for fun. You also need to make room for things that you love and things that bring you joy without bringing you this kind of satisfaction that's tied to productivity. One of the things that I have been doing a lot more this winter is playing Pokemon on my DS. I just played 3 hours today before I had the energy to clean my kitchen and also try and film this video. So that is kind of what I mean. I've been playing a ton of Pokemon, and I've been playing a ton of Genshin Impact, which I won't really talk about ever or make in a video besides something like this. Even my artistic hobbies, pictures, taking videos, using my camcorders, those are also things that I deeply, deeply love that help me feel joy in this season and in this climate where it's really easy to not feel those things, and it's really, really easy to feel sad. Another part of doing that is also about how to make doing those things really easy. I keep my DS in my bag, even if I'm not using it wherever I'm going. My camera is always super accessible. My phone is super always accessible for when I want to take pictures or take videos of things. I've made a lot of these things that I love really joyous, comfortable, and easy for me, so that if I feel the need to do them, just a little knock on my door to do them the way I want to, then I'm going to do them. Which leads me into number 5, which is Listen to your inner voice. The inner voice is really hard. I'm not a therapist, I'm not some self help book writer, but what I mean by listening to your inner voice is listening to these urges that are not just urges, they're things that your mind and your body is trying to tell you that is not how do I explain this? For me, listening to my inner voice is very similar to listening to my body if it's telling me that I am hungry. If my body is hungry and it's telling me, hey, I want french fries, listening to your inner voice is a lot like that, except we're not trying to nourish ourselves like through food in our stomach. We're trying to nourish like our soul. Number 6, and this is the really, really hard one that I think a lot of people not mess up, but a lot of people kind of ignore in winter, and that is be with people. I think it's really easy in winter to not go out enough, to not spend enough time with people, and I'm very much guilty of doing this for a lot of personal reasons that I won't get into. It can be really hard finding the energy to want to be around people and to be with people when winter is just so depressing and really horrible, but you can't ignore the fact that we are social creatures and friends are awesome. Like, friends are really good for you. Even not being with friends, even just being around people on like a commute, taking public transportation where you get to see other human faces besides just yourself and try to interact with people. Like, being around people is actually very healthy for you, especially if you are sad all the time because it is icy and dark and cold all the time. I have been trying to spend my time with friends really intentionally, going to shows together, hanging out at parties, even just hanging out like in each other's homes if it's a really low effort activity, if it's more of a high effort activity. Um, Trying to be with people will help you get through seasonal depression and will help you get through winter. And then the last thing that I have to say is just do things, like literally just do it and just do things. What I'm mostly talking about for this is really about creative things. If you need to start a project, if you need to study or get something done, anything at all that you have been avoiding but you are like, I really want to get this done. This little journal has been helping me a lot. It's super small, which I actually really, really like, because if I feel like I need to find the motivation to do something, anything at all, I will either talk about my day in this journal, talk about something that just happened with me in the last hour. A lot of the time, I also draw my characters, my OCs, um, and make art that I really enjoy that doesn't put a lot of pressure on me. And because the page is so small, it is really easy to fill. So if I finish one of these super small pages, I have that motivation and that accomplishment in myself that makes me think, oh my god, like I just got this done. I can start to do a bunch of bajillion other things that I might want to do. If you're always thinking about something and thinking about procrastinating doing it, you're gonna overthink yourself into not doing it ever again, and then you will never start. You're just getting paralyzed from not starting the thing that you said that you wanted to do, and that's no good. So, just start it, and you can make it pretty later. I am gonna wrap up filming this video because I really just needed this to get out of my system and get out into this format for myself. I hope anyone who watches, whether you enjoy the videos that I make or you're just finding me, helps in some way. And I hope that if anyone likes any of the things that I talked about, can implement them into their own daily practices. I'm going to stop here. I'll see everyone in another video. Goodbye.